Rabid Raccoon here. Um, I'm going to actually show my face again. Yay, you. Some friends encouraged me, and I got some positive review from them about this, so I'm going to do a little bit more of this as I go along. Today, I want to talk a little bit about fibromyalgia and what it is to me. Instead of having, I still got crumbs on me from having toast about 10 minutes ago. Such a slob. That's what you get for having a big shelf. I want to talk about fibromyalgia and what it is to me, because you can go online and read whatever you want on WebMD or, these reputable and non-reputable websites. And looks like I have a bruise there. Sometimes I get strange bruises at night on my face and arms and legs, and I don't know why. Inexplicable, yes, inexplicable bruises. They just happen. And that's part of what happens with this illness and everything that goes with it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk about it more than once in my vlogs, but I'm not going to drag it on, and I'm not going to use medical terminology. I'm going to speak in layman terms. I am a person that likes to use a lot of jargon, but I'm not going to do that. So, what is fibromyalgia from a human point of view? It's basically widespread pain throughout your body. Your brain is telling your body it hurts when it technically doesn't. That sounds a little confusing, I know, but there are different points in your body where if you touch them and you have fibromyalgia, they hurt like a son of a bitch. Some of my spots are like in my shoulder areas. If you put, sometimes you don't even have to put any pressure. You just like a slight rub, or if my clothes rub the wrong way, or the wind blows. Seriously, folks. Seriously. If the wind blows the right way on them sometimes, or the fan blows on them, or if I get too cold or too warm, sometimes it just freaking hurts. And I have a pain scale that I will show you sometime on my refrigerator, because I got tired of my husband asking me every day how I felt, and he got tired of asking me he felt bad. So we made a little chart. So it's pain in various spots of your body, and in general, for most people, there are, I think, 11 common places that people have them, but it's not limited to those places. And it's usually like shoulder areas, back here, upper arms, lower arms, hip area, I think upper legs, at least for me, lower legs, just anywhere that I need to function hurts. If I want to lay, for example, on my side at night, so you're laying on what? Your hip, your side, your shoulder, and then on your head, it all freaking hurts. So your brain is sending all these signals through lymph nodes and all that crap through your body, telling it hurts. And I don't know. Where does it come from? There are different theories, and a lot of it is said to come from some sort of trauma, whether it be physical trauma, not like Not like something you'd get from a car accident, like you know how you get whiplash and stuff, but somehow I don't know. And sometimes they say from mental trauma. Now they're saying, I read recently, that it can go as far back as when you're a child and you've experienced a lot of mental trauma from mental or abuse or things like that. Um, I don't know. I think that oh, and genetics. It can come from genetics. In my family, my excuse me, my paternal grandmother had a lot of issues with arthritis and inflammation within her body and stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if she had fibromyalgia without it being diagnosed. It's very hard to diagnose fibromyalgia because there's no test for it. So you get a lot of naysayers and a lot of people that judge you. A lot of doctors are judgmental of it. They don't believe in it. They treat you differently. You have to find the right doctor, and unfortunately, a lot of times you have to go through a lot of doctors to find someone that's willing to listen to you and willing to help you. Or you go the opposite way and you have a doctor that feels so bad for you that the only thing they want to do is give you drugs. If you're into drugs, that's great, but I have always had the inclination to try to work with my doctor with some medication, but also try to find other alternatives to help myself. So it's taken me a long time to get the help I need. I've had the diagnosis of fibromyalgia for over 10 years now. And it's taken me a long time to get to where I am now. I have, you get with fibromyalgia, with FM, I'm going to go to that because I'm sick of saying it. You get a multitude of doctors, and I have a neurologist because I have migraines as well, and I had migraines before I had FM. You get a multitude of doctors. So you get a neurologist, possibly. You get definitely a rheumatologist. You have your regular family doctor or your personal care physician or your internist, whatever. You may have to have lots of blood work done because you may be put on something like Humira or what's the other one? Not Trulicity, Traceba. I don't know. There's so many out there. I am on Humira. I have to take it every 2 weeks. The copay for that, if you don't get the card, the discount card, for me is $40. But I have the discount card for $5 a month, or $5 every other week. Is $40 every other week. I'm on Lyrica, and we just started that. I was on Cymbalta before that. That didn't work. Every once in a while, I may have to take a med dose pack of steroids. It's crazy. You have all these appointments. You constantly have to have appointments. The impact on my body is insane. There's days where I cannot stay awake. I'm exhausted. I may be up all night tossing and turning from pain, trying to find a comfortable position because I can't sleep. I can't enjoy a book or a movie because I'm so tired, and I can't find a comfortable position in a recliner or on the couch. I can't settle in bed because even the sheets hurt, the pressure on my body hurts, the temperature in the room, it's too hot or too cold. My stomach hurts, or I'm up and down going to the bathroom. Anything like that. So my tossing and turning sometimes bothers my husband, keeps him awake. Oftentimes I get so dizzy that I have to wake him up to help me in and out of the bathroom so I don't fall and break my frickin' neck. So there's that. Lack of sleep, dizziness, balance problems, memory. That brain fog you hear about, it's real. I've had to stop driving because the fibromyalgia, FM, has affected my vision so badly that some days I can barely see anything. I have to squint. We have a big ass TV, okay? Let me see if I can flip this over. Can I? Not while I'm videotaping. I guess not while I'm videotaping. But we have a big ass TV. Let me see if I can. Okay, see that? That's my TV. I have to have my son or my husband read to me what's at the bottom of the screen, or if, in a movie they're reading a letter or something, they have to read it to me. Sometimes the closed captioning they have to read to me because I can't see it. I have to hold crochet up really close a lot of times because I can't see it. On my phone, I have to, get real close to read things because I can't see it. It's insane to read a book. Gotta hold a book real close. I never had to do that before FM. And I know I'm getting older too. I realize that. But to be almost completely blind at times and then be fine, it's FM. Sometimes I cannot remember what day it is. I can't remember what happened the day before. Like, I'll have to ask my husband. Our son has some really bad days where he's so angry and throws these fits. Those of you that follow me regularly know what I'm talking about. Those that are new, my son has autism and he's a teenager right now. He's 15 and he's going through something that's quite common with boys and girls, I think, may do this. I think I've read that some girls do this, but once they hit puberty, the boys on the autism spectrum oftentimes go through a violent phase where they're verbally, emotionally angry, and they may try to hit you, they throw things, they scream, lots of different things like that. Well, my son goes through these. Sometimes he hits my husband. Sometimes he tries to hit me. He'll swear, he'll throw things. And we are working with a local agency that comes and helps us out with that. And we've been working with behavioral specialists, everything like that. So we're on top of it, even though it is a problem. So, and also he cannot be alone. He can't keep himself occupied. He doesn't, for long periods of time, he would leave the house and wander off if he wasn't monitored. I have no support. A lot of times our respite workers aren't available. And my daughter doesn't really give us a lot of support when it comes to helping out with him. So I think she's watched him twice. So my husband has to take time off of work, which is FMLA time. When you take off FMLA time, that's part of the Family Medical Leave Act. Just within the last year or two, now you can get paid for that. It used to be you didn't get paid. You have to have that approved by medical doctors and then approved through your work administration. He gets that approved and he has to have that reevaluated every so often. But you don't get a full paycheck. You get a certain percentage of it. And if they want proof, you have to provide proof. So we don't take advantage of it. But when I am in a really bad phase of my medical issues where I can't get out of bed, I'm in a lot of pain, and the pain makes me exhausted. Or sometimes I can't even get out of the bed, just enough to go to the bathroom. Maybe I'll eat. Maybe I won't. He has to stay home and take care of our son. So there's another stressor. He doesn't get to go to work. Paychecks are less. Cameron is a stressor because he has to deal with him alone. There's no family here. Respite workers aren't dependable. So there's only us, the two of us. Who can you count on? So we're working it alone. And I'm not dependable, and that makes me feel horrible that I can't be who I used to be. That's something that FM does. FM makes it so that I can't enjoy life like I used to. I make plans, and then oftentimes I have to reschedule or cancel. I've missed out on concerts with my daughter, movies. I've missed out on baseball games of my sons. I've missed out on dinners out with my husband, dates, family outings. The three of us go out sometimes on Sundays, my husband's day off. When Cameron has a good week, we go out, and it's a simple thing, but it's something nice to do. I miss out on all that because of fibromyalgia. They go out, I'm in bed. They go downstairs because that's where our computers are, and they play video games, or they go out and do yard work, and they're out in the sun having fun and all this stuff. They go to hockey games, and I'm in bed staring at four walls. There's only so much Netflix you can watch. There's only so many hours in a day that you can sit and read a book or lay and read a book. Your hands get cramped up, your arms get sore. When you're feeling good, you want to do as much as possible, but then if you overdo it, you pay for it for days on end. You try to pace yourself, so you do a little bit of dishes, and then you sit down. Or you have to carefully plan, like if you're going to the mall, I have to pack a bag of pain medication. I've got a cane that I take so that I don't fall over. Or if my legs hurt, I have the cane. I take a water bottle because my throat is dry, or if I have to take pills so I don't have to buy, a pop to carry around or whatever. It's easier for me to carry water. And just anti-anxiety meds, fidget toys for the anxiety so I can try not to take the meds, antibacterial because I have autoimmune with this the psoriasis, and on top of that, it seems like when you have FM, you get a lot of extra additions to it. For example, I have psoriatic arthritis. My psoriasis is worse, you know, since I've gotten, since I have FM. Um, Cuts take longer to heal. Um, my nails, I mean, I had a hangnail. I got an infection from having a hangnail. My toenails are not the way they used to be. My skin is so dry everywhere. I mean, I slather lotion, special lotions on my face just so I'm not a big literal flake. Special shampoo and stuff in my hair. It's insane. And the weight is ridiculous. You go on a diet where you're just modifying your foods, you know. And sometimes you're sick. Food doesn't taste good. Food doesn't taste good. Or a certain thing tastes good, so that's all you eat. We've had to put Ensure in the fridge just to make sure I get nutrients. And I drink water all the time to keep my system flushed out, you know? There's a lot to FM and the impact it has on your spouse, your children, your family as a whole, your social life. If I didn't have internet, I would be so lonely. If I didn't have my internet friends, if I couldn't connect to my sister online, if I didn't wasn't able to text her, if I couldn't get on Instagram or Snapchat or YouTube to talk to people, I would be so lonely. I would be nuts. I would go nuts. So you've got to watch because I have bipolar, because I am bipolar, I got to watch depression, you know? And when you can't get up and move around much, you can't exercise. When you can't exercise, what happens? Your weight stays on and your muscle tone goes down. So, you know, it's so difficult. And for people to judge you and think you're lazy without knowing what's really going on with someone, I don't think that that's fair. With any illness, just like mental illness, you can't see it, so you judge it. You know? People that know me and know that this is really happening have said things to me like, well, why don't you get a handicap sign, you know, for the car because my legs hurt and stuff. I don't want to do that. You know, I want to walk. I need the exercise, you know. Some days it's like, oh, I wish I had that sticker, you know, but I want to walk, you know. I've got to try. And some days it's like park as close as you can without, you know, because I don't want to take someone's spot. I won't take a handicapped spot, but it's like park as close to the building as you can. Oh, but I don't, you know, I don't want to give up. And I've had to give up so much freedom that I've had to give up so much freedom that some things that I used to do now, it makes me nervous. I can't pay the bills because I forget. I'm making appointments. Paul makes the appointments because I forget. I get confused. That fibro fog is not a joke. It's horrible. I get lost. Even when I put Google Maps and stuff up on my phone to help me get somewhere, I get so confused. I forget where I am and I can't understand the directions. So between that and the vision problems, and then sometimes being so tired, I almost got in an accident one time because Paul couldn't drive me to a therapy appointment, and I had to go. I would have gotten, I would have had to pay full price for missing it, without canceling within 24 hours. I fell asleep behind the wheel for, like, nodded off, and I started to go off the shoulder in towards the ditch. And I don't even remember how I made it home. I was so tired. And my sleep goes really, really deep. So that really scared me. I can't even go do the grocery shopping by myself because I can't drive. I have to write notes and I have to use my Echo for reminders. I have pill reminders. It stuff I never had to do, and I was sharp as a tack. And now it's really frustrating when you know you've got a brain in there and it's not working right. So that's what fibromyalgia is, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. But that's what it does. So you got to make sure that you have open communication with your spouse. You take as much time as you can with each other, and when you have good days, you know, spend that time with each other. Tell your spouse your fears. Don't, be negative and complain. I try not to complain. Let him or her speak to you about their concerns. And I've told him that. What are your fears? Talk to me. I need to know, because he does a lot. Some days he has to carry all the weight, make the dinners, clean the house, get Cameron in bed or to school, ready for school. You know what that makes me feel like? Because I'm at home, I can't work. I can't get a job. That makes me feel useless. So I try to sell my dolls when I can crochet. Try to bring in a little bit of money when I can. It's really hard. Trying to sell homemade products online isn't easy because there's so much competition out there. There's people that are always going to be better than you or selling for less, but you have high quality and you're not going to, sell your stuff for nothing, especially when it takes days, sometimes weeks to create something, so you just hope for the best. And, I'm not trying to make anybody feel sorry for me because I don't feel sorry for myself. And I don't say, not very often, I don't say, why me? But every once in a while you're like, oh, why do I have to have this? You do wonder, though, why it skips certain people in your family and you get it. Because nobody in my family, like, talks about, like, extended family and that. Nobody talks about what they have, so I don't know if anybody else in my family even has fibromyalgia. I don't know of anybody else that has arthritis. Just my grandmother had it. She's deceased now. My father has some pain, like neck pain and stuff like that, but he's the only one I know of that has anything. So it would be nice to know if somebody else has something, but nobody talks about this stuff, so it makes it really hard. So this is the reality, folks. This is what it's all about. Not just those clinical little things that you read, those little blurbs about symptoms and all that. This is the reality. It sucks. It's hard on families. It's financially hard. It's lonely. It's painful. And you go crazy. And that's how I'm ending this. There's no cure, and there's no test for it. And people think you make it up, but you don't. But there are good days, and there are days of remission. So I enjoy those days. And that's what I focus on. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Maybe this will help someone. Bye.